See, this is the unacceptable behavior, the unacceptable actions that are happening right before us by the regulatory body, by the Cannabis Control Commission. I had someone ask me recently about a document that we had shared earlier on this year in regards to Frozen 4 and their relationship and their support and paying of MRCC, the Massachusetts Recreational Consumer Council. And this was a document that was made publicly available, whether intentionally or unintentionally. It was made publicly available on the CCC website. It was a document that we accessed in March of 2020. And in that document, it stated very clearly, and we have screenshots of it that's been posted online for quite some time, but I'm looking at the original right here, where in the document underneath in their business plan, they have a section called Recruit, Hire, and Retain a Diverse Staff. And it says, in order to attract and retain a diverse staff, the company will engage in the activities listed below. The very first bullet point, F4, which is their abbreviation for Frozen 4, has formed a partnership with the Massachusetts Recreational Consumer Council and has provided financial support to this certified nonprofit. The MRCC and F4 will work together to recruit, hire, and train as diverse a staff as possible for all aspects of F4's cannabis business. In addition, F4 will continue to support the MRC's efforts to assist qualified and approved social equity and economic empowerment candidates in their mission of helping these applicants address the numerous barriers for entry they face in the Massachusetts cannabis industry. This was dated, this is a statement that was submitted to the CC. The date of this document is December 9th, 2019, and it's annotated as being revised version 2, and it is in response to the Cannabis Control Commission. It's a summary of the diversity plan to promote equity among minorities, women, veterans, people with disabilities, and all members of the LGBTQ plus community. And that was the document. That's what they stated in this document as to the first bullet point of their diversity plan. We identified the conflict here. We called the CCC out, we called MRCC out, and addressed the fact that Frozen 4 was engaged in a partnership that did not meet the requirements for 51% ownership in order for them to qualify for the economic empowerment priority status that they had obtained for a particular license that was issued to them in March. I believe it was March 2020 of this year. From there, we went on to show the fact that MRCC played an instrumental role in allowing for this to happen. MRCC received funding from Frozen 4. They were in Frozen 4's diversity plan to receive additional support. And in addition, the partnership that they forged between Frozen 4 and the EE was in violation of the 51% ownership requirement. It did not meet the majority ownership requirement. And when the CCC indirectly brought up concerns about that and attempted to undermine the economic empowerment program and diminish the ownership capacity of EEs, we pushed the issue. We called it out. We brought it to the attention because it was unacceptable. Now here it is. A question was asked about this. So again, I just went to the CCC's website and pulled up Frozen 4's diversity plan. Instead, what I found was a document that was not as comprehensive. It only captured 4 pages, but it is titled Frozen 4's diversity plan. It was uploaded to the CCC's portal or platform, what have you, on April 4th, or April 4th or April 8th of 2020. So we're talking after we have brought this to the public's attention. The document is dated December 10th, 2019, not stamped, but this is the date that they've included in this document. The document is exactly the same. The only difference is when you go to element number 2, where it talks about recruit, hire, and retain a diverse staff. It says, in order to attract and retain a diverse staff, the company will engage in activities listed below. F4 has formed a partnership with C3RN, another CCC vendor. and has provided financial support to this certified nonprofit. C3RN and F4 will work together to recruit, hire, and train as diverse a staff as possible for all aspects of F4's cannabis business. Now, there are problems with this for numerous reasons. And the most blatant one is whether or not the CCC is actively engaging in document fraud. Because here it is, you have documents with dates on them, but you're not verifying the stamp dates. However, we have timestamps that are showing that this document was backdated to December 10th of 2019, uploaded to your system in April of 2020, with the only difference being that MRCC's tie to this company was removed. And so this begs the question as to what other changes are the CCC facilitating as we push back and question how ethical their behavior is. And this is glaringly problematic, because if the CCC is willing to do this on something as minute as the diversity plan, because we've called out and pointed out the conflict of interest that's happening there and the violation to the economic empowerment program, this is what we're about. We're about trying to understand, one, how we can ensure that economic empowerment and the state's equity programs are successful. We have been in operation and licensing for 3 years now, and we do not have representation in this industry, despite the law mandating that, despite the fact that the legislators pushed for full participation. They put that in the mandate, despite the fact that the CCC has stood before the public and said that this is a priority and recognized their role in promoting and encouraging participation of economic empowerment participants and the equity programs as a whole. And our role here at Mass Mother Mary, our role as vested entrepreneurs in Massachusetts, our role as EEs and as SEs in this program is to understand why has this program failed and what can we do to rectify it. And as we explore and look at the decisions that the regulatory body makes, the decisions that key stakeholders in the regulatory body are making, we uncover these acts that are fraudulent, these acts that are suspicious, and we ask questions. And then instead of getting a direct response, what we have is more collusion. We have more cover-up. And so it begs the question as to, are we really about promoting economic empowerment and social equity and addressing the harms done to those by the war on drugs, or is this business as usual? And the fact that we're calling this out and the fact that we're challenging this is becoming problematic. And so now we are going to are we the ones bearing the brunt of the attack? This isn't a personal attack. This is an investigation, and we want answers. We want clarity. We want the CCC to do their job as a regulatory body and regulate to ensure that there's full participation, that EEs, that SEs, that we are able to enter into this industry. We've provided solutions. We've provided solutions that align with the legislation. We've provided solutions that would not only hold everyone accountable, because there has not been accountability regulated to the point of transparency, but we've provided solutions that would hold every entity accountable to their role in promoting full participation. This industry was erected knowing the disparity of treatment, the harms and the injustices done by the war on drugs, the negative impact, the atrocities that communities, individuals, certain populations, Black and brown people experienced. And so here it is, we bring this information to the public. We're calling this information out because we have to hold the regulatory body accountable. The documents are going to be tied to this video. You'll be able to look at them yourself, and with screenshots showing the timestamps of access and availability.